So in today's video, I was going to cover Vadarya Prime, which is the new sniper that came out with Caliban Prime with his Venato Prime as well. But they had done a hotfix. The hotfix fixed a lot of the interesting ways that the Vadarya's lightning, which is its unique effect, where whenever you hit an enemy or kill an enemy, you have a chance of striking nearby enemies up to 3 with 3 lightning strikes. But it also has a conductive area around the target when you kill them, and that does also affect your get affected by your mods. So what most people, including I, were going to do was build Blast with a Valence formation Lavos, proc it, and then snipe them. And it's supposed to spread, but as you saw, they didn't keep chaining like that. Sadly, they fixed that. It was causing people to have a lot of issues, but you see, it still does hit really hard, because it does take into account your the mods you have on it and stuff like that. But to me, the weapon has gotten very underwhelming. It went from a worldwide map cleaner to literally a vacuum cleaner. I rather use the code of Sporethix, but I will still try to make a build and show it in Steel Path. So I'm going to go level up the weapon again and showcase it in the actual Steel Path mission and not just the simulacrum. Alright, and here we are back in a Steel Path mission. So hopefully I was able to actually get a build that works quite well. So we're still using Blast as a way to help clear out rooms, since due to the fact they did revoke the way its function works with the lightning, it still can work just by being used as a blast tool. So that's what we're going to try using it for. Okay. Try using it for. But as you saw just a second ago before I took a lot of damage from nowhere, it does indeed work. We are able to continue to spread the blast procs with the weapon itself, because it still does have that like range of electricity damage, so it is still proccing that, as well as it does take advantage of all the mods we have on our weapons, so we are able to continue to still see blast explosions without the inclusion of all the chain lightning effects that we used to get because of performance issues people were having. To me, I think because they fixed that, they should have added it to where we would also get more lightning procs, like up it from 3 to like 10, make it worthwhile for us to have lost something that made the weapon unique. Because if anything, this is now just another Coda Sporethix. This is all this has kind of become, with like an interesting gimmick. I know it works really well on Zephyr, Geyer, Dante. It still works well on Lavos, but it kind of just feels like a Sporethix to me, which is not what I wanted to see. I wanted to have a new sniper that was like a ad clearing monster, one that would slaughter rooms and stuff like that. But I will try to get a what are they called? Acolyte. I'll try and get an Acolyte spawn and see how it works on them. So I will see y'all when an Acolyte spawns in. All right, we are getting an Acolyte. Let's see who we are getting though. Mania. Oh, let's spread some statuses. Hey, Mania. Whew, when the lightning strikes, it hits hard. I mean, it's not bad. I'll give it that. Would it probably have killed it later on? Maybe not, but I am literally just mixing a ton of elements. I'm not even picking one in particular. It's just if I see it, I'm mixing it. But let's see. How easy does it clear out that room right there? I mean, it's not bad. I'll give it that. But it was better. I'll say that. It was better. But I'll take us to the simulacrum where we can see a little bit more of a controlled setting. Also, gas does not work with trying to proc the lightning either, sadly. But if you want to get lightning like that, you can use Zephyr. But I will see y'all in the simulacrum where we can have a more controlled test. And here we are in the simulacrum. So the base stats of the Vidaria Prime are 40% crit chance, a 2.8 times crit damage multiplier, an 18% status chance, 400 electricity damage, with a fire rate or charge time of 3/4, a fire rate of 2.8, magazine of 16, a reload of 2.6 seconds, and it has very high accuracy. So when it comes to the weapon's unique trait, it creates a conductive area around the target you've shot, which has a chance to spawn up to 3 lightning strikes on random nearby targets. The strike damage scales with those mods you have on, including your arcane. When it came to this beforehand, you did have the ability to proc the lightning repetitively using blast on the weapon, but that was causing a lot of people issues with their games, so DE sadly did fix that, as well with Nova, but you can still use Dante and Zephyr to, well, spread the status damage that they can deal, and help with the lightning. Overall, I think they should have buffed the unique trait to increase the amount of lightning strikes we get. Now that they fixed that, maybe to 10 instead of 3, and increase its chance of proccing, because to be honest, it did not proc that often in the showcase. But the build we have today is Galv Chamber, Galv Scope, Serration. Why are we running those? Well, I don't like the primary Acuity version I've seen people run. I think it requires a little too much startup, especially since the lightning is what you're relying on to kill things there, or your abilities to keep the enemy slowed. So I went with the Galvanized Chamber for more multi-shot and build into that. Galvanized Scope for when we do hit a headshot, or when the lightning does kill, it will increase our crit chance and our crit damage. Serration just for flat damage, because we don't have a single status outside of electricity at the start, so we have no slash, no impact, no puncture. Battle Sense for more crit damage. We have Critical Delay for even more crit chance, Thermite rounds, Rhyme rounds, and Shred. We're getting Blast and Punch Through with a little bit more charge time and fire rate, so that it is a little faster. Overall, I think the build works quite nice, but let's go test it on some Steel Path Simu enemies. So here we go. We have some level 200 Steel Path enemies, and whenever we shoot it without any of my Lavos abilities on, as you see, the lightning is striking, but it was striking beforehand repeatedly, like it would keep going with the blast procs, but now that is sadly not affecting it, so we're just getting it on the individual targets now, or sometimes around them, due to that chance that it has. But if we wanted to make this even stronger, what we could do is do this, proc our blast ability on them, and then just do that. And that's purely due to using Valence Formation on Lavos, because we are now giving the weapon 200% status chance instead of what it was at, which was about 39.6. And due to that, if we look at the build we have here, we're using Valence Formation. Like I said, we have Mecha Pulse, so when I kill a marked target, I get more armor, but it also spreads the status effects to all nearby enemies. I cover this in my Lavos and Cedo build, so do go give that a watch. It is a very good build and a very good video. Not bad. But let's head back to the simulacrum, where I can give my final thoughts instead of me continuously testing, because that's what I'm going to end up doing if I stay in the simulacrum. So I'll see you in the back rooms. So what are my thoughts on Caliban's Prime Axis and the Vidaria, Venato, and all that? Well, to me, I think the Vidaria was a sniper with a ton of potential, but the problem is that DE sadly butchered it by taking away the fact that blast counted as a weapon damage for this weapon, so the lightning effects that came down from wherever no longer proc consistently, kind of made it not as fun to use. Is it still usable? Yes, very much so. But at the same time, you know, it's also usable. The Codosphorithix. The Codosphorithix is literally just, in my opinion right now, a better Vidaria, until they find a way to maybe make it to not cause as many performance issues with people, because the Lightning Strike thing was just really fun. It was like using Cloud Strike from Destiny, basically. And now that the whole function's gone. It now just semi-does it. They needed more lightning strikes if they were going to patch that. Other than that, the Venato, I'm yet to get it. I believe I'm like 2 things off of it. Yeah, I need the blade and the blueprint. That's it. And then eventually I will have that built. And then Caliban, I'm just missing his Neuroptics. I've used over 8 relics, all radiant, all of them over. I went through 1500 to 50 reactant or traces and still ain't seen it. Overall, the Vidaria, not a bad weapon. If you got it, put some 4 minutes, see if you like it. If you don't, you ain't missing much, because they did kind of nerf it. But I hope you guys do enjoy this video, and if you guys want to see more things like that, tell me what you want to see down below in the comments. I'll review whatever weapons, whatever Warframes you want to see. I'm trying my best to get Venato and Caliban Prime as soon as possible. But I'm going to be honest with you, I made a Caliban video already. Just go use the build that I made for him. The Venato, I heard it's got Tau on it. I'll figure out how to proc that. I know Influence doesn't work on it already, but who knows? I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.